When Rudy started his scoop and dump operation, just 101 FDNY members had been recovered. 242 FDNY members and hundreds of civilians would either stay buried at Ground Zero or be removed like garbage and deposited at the Fresh Kills landfill.
Scoop up the debris, dump it in a landfill. The heck with the fact that it was firefighters or others who would never have a funeral for their family.
Families and off-duty firefighters protested Rudy's appalling lack of respect. In response, Giuliani had them arrested. When faced with the public outrage, Mayor Giuliani relented and let FDNY members go back to work on the pile.
I lost my son. He was in the Marriott. He was lost when the South Tower came down.
We found my son on March 25th, 2002, and if Giuliani had his way, my son's body would have never been recovered because he would have closed the site in November because of money and politics, and he wanted the firemen out of there so they could speed up the operation.
Remains were found, and it was a real relief to find those, to know, that he wasn't left down there and that he did come home to rest.
We have no idea how he died in the towers. We haven't recovered his remains, so we don't have any information.
Today, we still continue to find remains.
We did need radios that worked, we didn't have them. We did need proper respiratory protection, he didn't give it to us. The things that we needed to do our job even better, we didn't have because of his administration.
So ultimately, the mayor of New York at the time, Mr. Giuliani, he has to bear these responsibilities.
And I blame Giuliani. He was the leader that day, and he was the leader for the 8 years leading up to that.
I wish I could put him on the stand where he'd have to put his hand on the Bible and swear to tell the truth.
He's not a leader. He's running on 9/11, and it's all a fallacy.
That's what this is all about. It's the truth of what he did.
And he's making millions, tens of millions of dollars on the backs of my members, as far as I'm concerned.
If you're looking for an effective leader to take this country further, Rudy Giuliani is not to be your choice.
The urban legend of America's mayor needs to be balanced by the truth.
On the heroic memory of 343 dead firefighters, he wants to run for president of the United States. It's a disgrace.
And the truth is that Rudy Giuliani is a coward, a liar, a traitor, and a 9/11 co-conspirator. I must say once again, how did this fucking retard ever win a case as a prosecutor?
September 11th, September 11th, September 11th, September 11th, September 11th, September 11th, 2001.
What would we say here if China was doing this in our country or in the Gulf of Mexico? We would be objecting. We need to look at what we do from the perspective of what would happen if somebody else did it to us.
Are you suggesting we invited the 9/11 attack, sir?
You fucking piece of shit media whore is almost as stupid as Giuliani. Well, I don't know about you, but I sure hope my countrymen would be doing everything they could to destroy foreign troops on our soil and their soil if they were doing this to our children, all based on lies.
Already now, since that time, have killed 3,400 of our men, and I don't think it was necessary.
Wendell, may I make a comment on that? That's really an extraordinary statement. It's an extraordinary statement as someone who lived through the attack of September 11, that we invited the attack because we were attacking Iraq. I don't think I've ever heard that before, and I've heard some pretty absurd explanations for September 11. And I would ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that.
Congressman?
Come on, Rudy, let's have a reality-based debate. You didn't live through shit. You ran like a fucking coward.
It occurs to all of us that they would ultimately collapse over the way buildings usually collapse, which is in stages. It looked like at some point the top of the building would come off, and then maybe the middle of the building, and then maybe there'd be a shell left.
I went down to the scene and we set up headquarters at 75 Barclay Street, which was right there with the police commissioner, the fire commissioner, the head of emergency management, and we were operating out of there when we were told that the World Trade Center was going to collapse. And it did collapse before we could actually get out of the building. So we were trapped in the building for 10, 15 minutes and finally found an exit and got out, walked north, and took a lot of people.
I have a question for you, Rudy. If you were...
And we were operating out of there.
When you were told...
When we were told that the World Trade Center was going to collapse.
Then how on earth did you get...
And it did collapse before we could actually get out of the building. So we were trapped in the building for 10, 15 minutes. And
Rudy just told us they were operating out of 79 Barclay Street when they were told the World Trade Center was going to collapse. So he must have run back down there so that he could get caught in the collapse, which we know is impossible because we saw him running like the coward that he is. Okay, now that we have exposed Rudy as the liar, the traitor, and the coward, and the mass murderer that he is, I'd like to ask him another question. You getting nervous yet, Rudy? Is that corner getting a little closer to your back? Because our numbers are growing. This is not over. And we're coming for you. And it is going to fill my heart with mirth to watch you squirm from that defendant's chair.